Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you are in the world, but we are grateful that you are listening to this interview. Today, I'm honored to have Bilal Tariq. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. GP, it's an honor to speak to you, man. Love talking to you always. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to talk to a fellow on deck fam. And I, of course, am an ODP, but you are in ODNC. That's the no code branch of on deck. And so, for those who don't know who you are, we just want to give them a chance to hear your story. So, tell us, who is Bilal Tariq?
Such an expansive question, but um, I'll use some words. Tinkerer, builder, wanderer, explorer, avid reader, um, on a mission, I suppose, to bring people together. And contrary to what people may say, I mean, people call me the hype man. I'm a huge introvert.
Wow. The hype man is an introvert. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, though that combo exists, you're talking to one. Um, but yeah, man, um, I was trying to achieve something. That's I think one of the best ways to I don't even know how to compartmentalize myself, but like I just like to think a lot, and then
Mhm.
I'll think 80% of the time, and I'll go do 20% of my time, but I'll think a lot before I do something. So,
That's important. Think and do. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, tell us a little bit more about your professional journey and how you got into On Deck.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So by day, I actually work as a technical recruiter, and I get to talk to a lot of really amazing builders. I work with a lot of software engineers and stuff. So, um, just hearing about what they're working on, and what they're building, and how they're building it, and why they're building it, it's just so inspiring. Um, I know most of the time people just go into a job to do a job and collect a paycheck and 9 to 5 that thing. But like for me, it was just like the perfect playground, at least for my mind, because we're in a very technical world right now where everything, as Mark Andreessen would say, software is eating the world. And
Right.
a lot of everything that we do in our day-to-day life is run on software. And so working with people who are building the world around you, building that software around you is so inspiring because, it's awesome. Sometimes I mean, prior to the pandemic, I'd be at work and I'd order food from an app and go pick it up down the street. That app would be built by somebody I spoke to, which is really, really cool. Um, ordering an Uber, like I'm talking to somebody who has worked on Uber, like Uber Pool and stuff. And I'm like, what? That's really cool. So it's inspiring. And um, so I do that as my day job. And then you know obviously being somebody who's always had like a tinker and builder mindset, I've always thought like, hey, well, if they're doing it, I can do this too.
Mhm.
There's got to be more augmented ways of doing this. There's got to be more abstracted ways of doing this. And so what when the pandemic hit, and that was, well, we got the lockdown going on since March 15th of last year. um, but I was always like looking at On Deck since, I'd say, February of that year of
Mm.
2020. I just, On Deck just came into my radar in February, um, somewhere. Yeah, somewhere around February. Yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let me just explore this a little bit. And I just checked out the site and I was like, oh, wow. Like, the roster is fire. I was like, damn, like these are some really, really awesome people in here. Obviously, I saw the wall of love and just like the comments that people had about On Deck. And I was just like, okay, you know, I wish I could be a part of this thing, but at that time when I discovered it, it was going on in the valley.
Mm.
So I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Like, can't leave right now, can't do anything. I'm just working. But obviously the pandemic hit, and then On Deck went remote. They brought Silicon Valley to the cloud. And so as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to kind of get into this a little bit. So I just kind of explored it a little further, sat on it a little bit, enjoyed my summer, went climbing over the summer, hiking a lot, just thinking about, mainly did all that stuff, just think about what I really want to work on.
Mm.
I came up with a couple of ideas that I really, really wanted to work on. And then later that year, I applied to On Deck, and it started this year. So that's how I kind of came across On Deck.
Man, that's amazing, bro. And something you said resonated with me, and I'm sure it did with the listeners. You said that On Deck brought Silicon Valley to the cloud. That's
Yeah,
powerful. That's powerful because before it was based and centralized around the Bay Area in California, but now people from all over the world can be at home but still be on deck, which is pretty powerful and amazing. And we had the ability to do it before, but the pandemic kind of shifted us into these new opportunities. And so, in spite of all the tragedy and all the pain that has been felt, some great things have come out of this pandemic.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I think the pandemic has, like you said, opened up a lot of opportunities, and it's also changed a lot of paradigms, which I guess has led to a lot of opportunities being open. But like, yeah, you know, speaking from my personal experience, like as a recruiter, um, companies would, you back in the day at least, they would, and I say back in the day like prior to the pandemic, but like they would frown upon like people working remotely because they want people to be in the office and be around the team and contributing to the culture and everything. But you know, now everybody's remote.
Right.
They have no other option, you know. And we're also in, we're in 2021 now, man. Like you just need a laptop, you need an internet connection, and you can work from anywhere in the world, right?
Facts.
So you know, it's just you know, now it's become more of a norm. You know,
Mhm.
seeing big companies like Twitter, big companies like Shopify, like just go full blown like digital first. You know, it's just opened up, like you said, a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, yeah. So you mentioned that you are a builder, a tinkerer, a thinker, a doer. And
Mhm.
so On Deck just had its huge global building weekend. And there were teams working on different things. So what were you and your squad working on?
So we were working on, or we still are, actually, I would say, working on an app for bite-sized networking for the creator economy. It's an app called Shuffle,
Mm,
and the whole premise behind Shuffle is randomizing connections and creating more serendipity amongst people. Um, we're in too much of a rigid world, um, and I think you would agree, and a lot of people agree that sometimes opportunities just happen. They just fall into your lap, and you just have to be
mm,
ready for them.
yeah.
So the whole premise behind Shuffle was that how do we create something that can a bring more people together, be for more creators first, and have the social aspect to it, and be more fun and engaging. You know, so we thought, why not work on something that's going to be contributing to bringing about more creators into the world. And the goal was that if you were to use this app, you press the shuffle button. And as soon as you press the shuffle button, it connects you to somebody randomly. Think of Clubhouse because people are in there. But when you're in Clubhouse, you enter a room, everybody's just hanging out in their room, they're just doing their own thing, they're just listening. But like if I'm working on something, let's say I'm just about to start out my podcast, right? So I've got this mic, and like I told you earlier, like I've never done the podcast, but I've just got a mic, and I just randomly connect with you, and I say, yeah, I just set up my mic and stuff. I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my podcast, and then you're on the other line. You're like, I'm GP. I do podcasting. Like, and I'm like, no way. Can I like bounce some ideas off of? Can I like learn from you about it? And if you like that conversation, it goes really well. We want to create the opportunity for people to be able to take that offline, right? And
Hmm.
so if I really enjoyed it, if the conversations are only 10 minutes long. So it's a
Wow.
very, very small chunk of time that you can talk to somebody. So it encourages you to have more conversations with more people. The more people you talk to, the more serendipity occurs. And the goal was that, okay, cool. I really enjoyed talking to GP and learning from him about podcasting. So once the call is done, you could either follow up with me over Calendly and set up another time to chat, or you could follow me on Twitter, tell the world about what the conversation we just had on Twitter. Um, and we've also made it fun because when you log in, every time you log in, you got to fill up these prompts. It's your option to fill it in, but like these prompts are just fun facts about GP, fun facts about Bilal. And when we get connected on a call, all we see in front of us are fun facts.
Oh,
And,
wow.
and so we just kind of get to talk about those fun facts. And those are icebreakers, basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's just prompts to get the conversation going in case people are shy, in case people are just like totally unprepared. They're like, oh my God, who's on the other line? Well,
Yeah.
here's a fun little thing about them that'll help you get the conversation going. So
That's awesome. That sounds engaging. And it sounds like, honestly, an introvert's dream. Introvert's dream platform for networking and collaborating. And so I'm curious about your plans moving forward. I love the idea of shuffling and finding connections and engaging with people. It was only a weekend. GBW was a weekend. A lot was going on.
Yeah.
And sometimes, we get caught up in the now and, but what are you envisioning for the future of Shuffle, and how do you plan on building on this idea and changing the world ultimately with this concept?
I love that question. So it's so funny that you asked that, because just today at noon we had our we had our shuffle sync during the sync meeting during the global weekend, every day from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 12 p.m. over Zoom. And Monday we all took the day off because we were all so like,
Tired.
oh my goodness, I had only slept 2.5 hours before the pitch day.
I bet.
Yeah, so it was just like insane. But Monday we all took it off, and then Tuesday, which is today, I just moved that invite to today, Tuesday 12 p.m., and everybody was there again. And today's whole discussion was around, okay, what are we doing with this, right? So we've got like, no, as of like this call, we're sitting north of 220 signups.
Nice.
And clearly there's a demand for it. Clearly people are really hyped about it. So our current plan right now is to just patch up all the backend stuff that we need to do in order to make the audio scale, because we're just testing right now with literally just our team right now. Actually, just within our team, we're testing it out to make sure nothing breaks, and making sure that people are randomly matched. And then once that's fully ironed out, then we're going to start to scale it within, or at least we're going to start to soft launch it within the no code cohort. We'll test it out with the crowd over there for a bit. And then once we do that, then we're going to open up for the rest of on deck. And then once we've done that, then we're going to figure out what we're going to do. Well, I mean, we have an idea of what we're going to do with it, because it's a pretty real thing. Um, it's a pretty viable product that can be built, and we are building it. It's just a matter of like figuring out like how big can this really get. And
Yeah.
we have our ideas to how big it'll get, but Steve Blank says like no business plan survives the first customer. So like,
Mm,
let's see what happens when we launch it to the public,
right.
and how they use it. It's a social product, right? So
Mhm.
as much as you might think people are going to use it a certain way, you're never going to know how they're going to use it, right? So like, for example, like prime example is Clubhouse. So I just got it today, as I was telling you earlier. And you would think, okay, cool, like Clubhouse, the whole idea of Clubhouse is that these rooms are going on, and you're going to get into this room and you're going to listen to whoever's talking, you're going to listen to these conversations going on, stuff like that. Well, weirdly enough, I was scrolling through the rooms today, and I saw a room that is, I can't even, it's called a millennials room. The idea, I can actually tell you right now, the idea behind this room is join, look, follow.
Mm.
But the name of the room is silence. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what is this about? And the whole idea is that you just go into the Clubhouse room and nobody's talking.
Hmm.
It's just, you get to click on everybody's profile, see their bio, and if you
Right.
like them, just follow them.
Follow. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I mean, I wonder if that's how the founders of Clubhouse thought about that as a use case. But people are just coming up with their own use case there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's a social product. So even with Shuffle, right? So the whole idea is like, we're going to open it up and see where it goes. But we have some plans for it that are going to be exciting. So
That's awesome. So
yeah,
you
man.
mentioned the sign up list. What are some ways that our greater on deck community can help support the shuffle movement?
So we've been getting a lot of love from the on deck community. It's really, really awesome to see. And that's actually the power of on deck. Like, you go in there and you just do something, and you have the full force of the community backing you on it, supporting you. And with the on deck community, I think one of the best things that we could even ask for is just like, stay tuned, keep supporting us. Keep an eye out for what we're doing. I mean, we're tweeting about it a lot. A lot of people are giving us a lot of love and attention, and talking about us to other people, and sharing with other people and stuff. So I guess the whole idea is to do that. And I mean, just the very fact that you and I are talking, which an opportunity that I'm really appreciative of. You reaching out and just engaging with the hype, and engaging with just like the mission, and wanting to talk and learn more. I think that's awesome. Like, that's been the same kind of reaction and attention we've been getting from a lot of other people as well, from the writers community, from the writers fellowship, and from the podcasting fellowship. So yeah, man, I'm just really excited, and just hope that the community keeps supporting this.
Indeed.
We're building this for you all, right? We're built like you are going to be a user. Like
Yeah.
we're building this for people who are ambitious. We're building this for people who are hustlers. We're building this for people who are makers, creators, creatives, like people who want to do things, and they want to collaborate with people. They want to meet new people. They want to get new ideas. They want to get feedback on what they're working on. They want to
Yeah.
get support, and they want to promote what they're doing. Like, those are the people we're building this for, right? So just, when it comes out, just use it.
Indeed. And listen, Bilal, we are so excited to see how this movement grows and how Shuffle takes off. And listen, like you said, it's for us.
Yeah,
And so we will be ready to support, and our on deck community will be ready to show love and tangible support also as you continue to build on the vision that was birthed on GBW. So thank you so much, Tariq, for your time. And thank you so much for being the ultimate hype man. And we appreciate you, and continue to soar, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks so much, JP.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.